Okay, on the dock, there's two lockers. One of them is here, and the fridge is in here, the refrigerator is in here. Also, the pump to pump up some of the toys if they should get low. The combination on that is 0227, which is the same for a few things that you use. You simply open that up, and inside you'll see there's some suntan lotion, there's some other toys in there, but all importantly, here is a pump that'll help if any of the toys get low of air and need to be pumped up. Here's the fridge here. And oh, looks like some beer in there. So there you go. Here's the freezer, but we kind of recommend not putting things in the freezer, certainly not leaving them, because sometimes the power will go out on the dock if we have lightning or things like that. So it necessarily can't be, the electric source can't be trusted. So I wouldn't leave anything in the freezer, and the fridge, just things that you're kind of using just for your stay. Here's the power here. This actually controls the lights on the dock. You'll see there's several different switches. So that controls the lights if you come out here at night and want to have lights as you're playing it. This one here, once again, is the same code, 0227, to open that up. And in here are all the life jackets that you should ever need. Now in the pontoon there's some, but these are various sizes for the young adults, all the way up to XX. So you'll see here there's also some nice toys. So you'll see a variety of life jackets, paddles for the kayaks, some extra chairs. There's some swim here. There's goggles, masks, extra ski rope, all sorts of goodies. So this one primarily is the holder of all the life jackets and fun toys, and the other one really is for the fridge and just that pump primarily. Over here you'll see some of the toys that are here. This is a pull behind for the pontoon, and you can actually use this behind the jet skis. This is for towing up to, I think, 3 people on it. It's kind of tied up here. We also have like a hot dog that you can pull behind the boat, or the jet skis, or the pontoon, I should say. And that big rolled up pad there is like a swim pad that goes out, and it goes out probably about 30 feet, that the kids or adults can go on, and we usually tie it out front. I'll show you where we tie that up, and you can play on that. You'll kind of notice here things are tied down. If not, we get some pretty big winds, and these will all be gone if they aren't tied. So whatever isn't tied is going to be missing, and so that's why they're tied down. Now when you're here, if the weather's not bad, feel free to leave them just on the dock and such, but when you go, or if there's prediction of high winds, they need to be tied down in some fashion. And you'll see they're just kind of tied to just hold them in place. There's 4 jet skis. All of these, and they are tied, they are locked in. You'll see a lock there, the one lock holding both of these jet skis, and there's a lock each on these. Now, to lower these down, you would first unlock that so it's ready to go. Take the covers off. You just store the covers in one of the lockers, kind of roll them up or just make it so they don't blow away. You can take covers off of whatever you're going to use. Okay, right down here, this is kind of a safety valve. You see that handle there, how it's turned sideways? One thing you need, the air will not go in or out until that is turned. So if we lift it up the same way that this goes, that's going to allow air in and out. So it's the same on both of these particular lifts. So once you turn that up, and you want to let it down, you would then go from the hold position to the lower. And you'll hear air coming out. And when the air goes all the way out, this actually slowly goes down. And there's chains that'll stop it at the spot where you can then back it off. With a little bit of effort, you might have to push it too, but you can back it off. When you want to raise it, you don't do anything different. All you do is leave it, because it says raise and lower. You just turn it on and then it lifts it up. So right now, as long as it's like that, the air will go in and out. So when you want to hold it, when it gets to the position you want on the up, you just put the hold button. So the same on both of these. Same thing on both of them, raise and lower. When you want to raise it, you turn this on. When you want to lower it, you don't have it on, and it just sinks as long as I turn that handle the other way. When you come back in, you'll really want to put it on the lift and raise it. It only takes a few minutes. If not, their jet skis just sitting out here are going to get beat up. And they are some a little bit already because of that. So when you're done riding for the afternoon or you're done riding for the time, please come in and put them in and raise them. And then just shut it off, put it on hold on both of these. And on those, you want to run them up on the deal because there's no, you just can't pull them up to shore. You just can't tie them up here. They're going to just get beat up. So they always need to be back where they are. You know, if you're not running them, they need to be back on the lift. These two are a little different. They're just run up ones. So you untie it, you take the covers off, and you probably need some help, but two of you can push them out. You get it going and push them out. Now don't let any of these run without being in the water because that's how they cool the engine. So it'll overheat if you just start them up and run them without them being, you know, without the engine being in. So they need to be pushed in a little bit, started, put it into reverse, and away you go. This is the one key that unlocks the jet skis. So this one lock is both of those locked up, and the one key fits all the locks. So that'll unlock the jet skis. Other than that, the boat has its own key. And these all have their keys, and they're in those in here. So some of these, all of them actually, all of these that have just this type, and if you've driven a jet ski before, you know that some of these just have these safety clips. And as long as there's on the handlebars, there's a spot where you put this. And you need to put this on your body because if you fall out, it pulls and it stops the jet ski. It's the law in every state, but certainly this state, that this needs to be on your body, hooked up in case you fall off. So all of these, they have a floaty device and these. And this goes to everyone in order to start it. The only one that's a little different, and it still needs to have that, is the Kawasaki, which is right over here. It's the jet ski Kawasaki. And that one has, besides this being in, it also has this key that goes in the ignition. And that's what's different about the Kawasaki. The Yamahas, all they need are these to start them. But the Kawasaki needs this because it has to have a kill switch, and it needs to have this. And you have to have a 3-seater when you're pulling any of the toys because you have to have a driver legally. You need to have a driver, you need to have a passenger that's spotting, and then you need to have a spot for the person that you're towing when they get tired that they can get on. So legally you have to have a 3-seater in order to pull any of these toys. That's it on the 4 jet skis. Just take the covers off. These, there is no lift. It just rolls up on them. When you come up, you'll see that it has rollers. You just nose the front end up and give it some gas and put it up as high as this is the best way. That one's back a little far. This should come up right like this. And this one, this is the key for the tri-tune pontoon boat. If you've been, I don't know how to go about it, but if you know how to run this and you've been approved to run this, then here's the key for that. That's the only one that has the key. All the other ones just have those pull-off switches, except for the Kawasaki that has that kind of electronic key and a pull-off switch. In the boat also, there's a kill switch that you're supposed to attach to your swim trunks or whatever you're wearing. If you fell out of the pontoon, it would automatically shut off the power to that. Also, there's age restrictions. I believe it's 14 years of age, but they have to have, if you're born after 1980, everybody has to go online and get a permit in order to drive a boat or one of these vehicles. It's easy in Arkansas. There's a webinar that you go in, and it's just a video that all you have to do is go on there. You go into Arkansas Game and Fish and ask for the boating regulations, and it'll say, do you want to do the video? You do the video, you sign and do the video, and it logs that you've taken that course, and you're good to go. Or else, because there's certain restrictions on how close you can be behind a boat and things like that. So you really need to be licensed, but to license it, it's easy. You just have to go online and take the video course. For the lift, it's got a hold. This one's a little different, hold up or down. So if you're going down with it, there's no valves underneath to stop it like there was over there. You just go down, you'll hear the air coming out. When you want to raise it, you go and it raises it. And then when you're done raising it, you need to go over to the hold. That's what holds it up in the air. The position of it, you'll see how far off it is when you get, it's like this far off. We have it kind of, if you look in the back, the motor is off. The motor is tucked all the way underneath. You can see too on the pontoons how it's just right at the end there. With the boards that support it, there's 3, because it's got 3 pontoons. And it comes up right there, and it goes up perfect. If you notice that light up there, it actually has an adjustment on it, and it's kind of all the way flat. The only reason you'd want to put it up is if you're running at night, before dark or right at dark or sunset. So we keep it like that, because if it was up straight, and that's the only time legally you need to be using it, if it's dark. If it's up straight and you lift it, it's going to break that. So that's why it's at that angle. These chairs and things, they can be moved around. They're just attached like this, and you can take this off. It's just easy to come off. There we go, a little slack. And then just take this cord all the way there, just strung through. The reason it's like that is because if the wind blows, it'll blow these chairs right into the water, the same as those. And they're heavy, but they have gone in the water before. And that's why we've got the cable down on those to hold those. Here, this has, there's 5 of these real nice chairs to sit out here in the water. There's just a spot here. They go on, see, they just go right onto there, and then when you come out with them, you see these little grommets that are in there. It just sits down in. That's it. The bottom seat does adjust. There's a little lever there, so depending on how tall you are, you can adjust that seat, how far you want to go down. And it's got room for 5 of them in here. It's pretty darn slick, and a little spot for your beverage. We just ask when you're done for the evening, you put them back on there, because if the waves come in pretty strong, it could lift them up and then they'll drop to the bottom. It just easily pulls out, and their spot is right over here. You just put it back on. This bottom one has like a groove that goes in. That's it. There's 3 on this side, and there's 2 on this side. The ladder is real nice. It's actually dog friendly. If you have a retriever or something like I do, they can actually walk up those. And it's good for people kind of my age too, because it's at an angle. There's a pin here that just holds it so that it doesn't fall back down or stay in the And so to put it down, it's just you let it go, nothing fancy about it. And that's the angle, so it's at a nice angle to walk up on instead of straight up and down. To get it out, it's as simple as just raising it up. And we try to keep it in the up position because then it doesn't get any, or else it'll get growth on it and stuff. And it'll be kind of nasty where you don't want to put your feet in it. There's some tie-ups here, and this is that big blue mat that I mentioned, kind of a toy that you could go on and lay down. We actually hook it up right here off of one of these cleats. These cleats just go up and down, so you don't stub your toe on them, but they're still fastened really good. So you can tie that swim pad up here, that lily pad, on both of these, and just leave it out here for the weekend. Once you get it out here, just leave it out here. Same way with those toys. If you get them and you have them, they don't have to be up on the dock necessarily like that tied down, but just make sure they're tied off so that they can't escape, because they're made to float. But just if you don't tie them up, they will be leaving. So just tie them up. These, if you're using these outlets are the only one that are like that. But if you got something plugged in, or you want to plug in your phone or do something else, these outlets here, right here, they have to have the power on to them. For some reason, this one and that one have different power switches.